All right, team, morning. Let's hope this mic's working. It is. That's a good start. Sorry, guys, if you saw that this morning. Camera decided it was going to stop working just before stream. Okay, let's get into it. Daily. All right, daily's looking pretty good here, isn't it? Two-leg pullback complete. All right, 1, 2. Inside this big node. Question is whether the breakout comes, and if it comes, if we can hold above it for that increased pressure up towards the top Bollinger Band, 400 and 500, and those are the targets from the weekly newsletter. Yeah, so that's what we're watching for. I would like an early dip, and then so I'm positioned long before we get to the breakout. I don't really want to play the breakout and hold. If I can get long before that, it would be great if the market is willing to move higher. The reason we're seeing this move this morning is because the month over month CPI came in cooler. Anything under 2 was what we talked about to go higher, and that's what we're seeing. All right, so let's have a look at the hourlies. It's a bit bigger for you guys. No, not you. Can we get some? There we go. Okay, let's focus on the hourlies here. All right, so straight move up overnight. Yesterday, finally, if you were watching the targets yesterday, we came into those targets of 580 and 540s. We held, okay, and the bid has formed overnight since. Here's your CPI washout and go. Now, that's an important CPI bid, more about what we did. All right, if we think about previous day's value, all right, CPI was the little trap into previous day's value area high, and the hourly flow zones, which caught the bid, and now we're expanding higher. All right, and we've got some key levels up here to come and take. All right, we have left so much resting liquidity here. It's unreal. If you can remember, we've been talking about coming for these 100s for a while. So 1, 2, 3, 4 times. All right, that's the edge of that range that we're looking to trade up to. And if we get over it, we get going. So what I'd like this morning, if possible, would be to see this market pull back in somewhere into here. All right, sub 900. All right, 900 to 850, somewhere into here, and prove to me that it's willing to hold. And ideally, shorts come flying in, and we see someone, ideally the same guy who's absorbing this, willing to absorb this, to look to complete that rotation. If we can get that, all right, it means we have enough space, right, to get long for the breakout to 30,000 and then 30,100, right, which will give us like anywhere from sort of 150 to 250 points. Now that is the expected move on the day, is up there, but I would say we're in positive gamma, and if they want to turn on the boosters and hold this breakout, I'm not ruling out that. All right, probably later in the week, but you just never know. Sometimes we go turbo, don't we? Now alternatively, if we see a failed breakout, and ideally it would take the liquidity first, all right, a failed breakout and then a failure up here, okay, then we can trade the rotation of previous week's value back down, and it would be TP1 into this RBS, and if we let go of that, into point of control, all right, and if we let go of that, into previous day's value area high, all right, that's also possible. Now, the expected move downside today, and they're just squeezing this thing up without us at the moment, it's quite upsetting. The expected move downside today would be into between 600 and 400, so yeah, somewhere in here. All right, if we did do that, that's not the primary trade I would like to see. That's the primary trade I'd like to see, or even that. But the last trade I would consider would be this. All right, if we fail to break out. If we look at GEX, we're in positive gamma. All right, which means potentially grind higher and rotations are available. All right, so this is what we're seeing at the moment. All right, we've gone positive GEX overnight from down here. All right, there's the grind higher, there's the washout, here's the grind higher, and you can see their target. All right, so up here into 30,110. Right, now we've flipped this 900s. 30,110 is the target, and then we can think about if and what happens afterwards if they put some new targets in. But that's where I'm trying to trade up to today, 30,000 to 30,100 if it will let me. At the moment, it just feels like a runaway train that's not going to let me in. Okay, let's move down and have a look at the ES and everything else and all the good stuff. All right, ES we've got to be getting close to breakout. We are. There we go. All right, so ES target is all-time highs. Pretty simple right now. All right, consolidation at the highs. It would be nice if it came and back tested this. I don't know what's going on there. It would be nice if it came and back tested this, but it won't at the moment. All right, so this consolidation is holding and maybe a slow grind up towards all-time highs. That's your target on the day if they're willing to do that. If we look at the lower time frame right now, right, gapping up, 0 point is at 750s. That's basically your over-under and CPI. So you want to hold in front of CPI. Really, you'd want to hold right here into 80s. If it offers you a dip to 80 and they hold, that's what you're looking for, the move towards 830 and all-time highs. All right, if they start to lose that, I'd be careful about the rotation back down to CPI low and 750. But at the moment, we're bullish. All right, at the moment, we're bullish in that move up. Looking at it on the spiders, same kind of story. We can zoom out here. We're coming into some key liquidity here on the spiders. 775, you break that, you're looking for all-time highs. All right, so ideally, it gives you a dip. It doesn't look like it's going to, and then you trade up to this. If it bases, you look higher. If it fails to break out, you get that sort of secondary trade back inside the range. All right, Qs are going to be similar but weaker. All right, so we're starting to flip this node from the Qs now. Let's move this down into here. All right, we're pulling out this resting liquidity already. So we want to see if Qs are willing to hold a bid in towards 25 to 24. To get that move up to 730. The break of, let's just call it 27, so we're basically there. So ideally, we pull back in, we get that break, and we look higher. If we fail to break here, this trade here becomes available. All right. Crude, all right, still above the 80s. That's still a warning sign. I would say that. Just be aware of that. This is still a warning sign. This isn't inflation's over. It's just a month-over-month print. This is still available here on crude. What is going on with Tanukian this morning? Fucking joke, mate. All right, crude coming back in, but still looks a little hot. So we'll see what they can do here. The hedge has started into the metals. All right, be aware of that. We've started buying the metals as the Dixie's coming back down, but they've got to break this level. 99400s, right? That's the level to break. We're still in, right? I'm still concerned about this, but we break this, market gets a new squeeze. So we can, do you know what? We can, if you will let me, should we set it down here? Let's add alert there, add, and then we'll drag you higher. There we go, beautiful. Okay, VIX also getting crushed. Don't move that. There we go. VIX getting crushed, coming downside. That's helping upside pressure in the market. If we look at the mags, they're opening up slight gap up, but nothing major. But we are basing up here like we've talked about. We're going to have to get rid of that, aren't we? All right, mag starting to base up here for a while. Slight gap up. All right, my only concern is that's your range. All right, it has to keep holding this. Otherwise, there is some weakness coming. So hopefully they hold this, because if we are going to look upside, I would like alignment, which we don't have quite right, like this. So this is semis. All right, they're on a ripper. There's your W formation. They liked it overnight. They like the news on SMCI, etc., etc. They're going for that upside squeeze, right? Their targets are up here into 560s. If we want to do that on the triples, right? We're watching this into 150s, 165s. You can see 150s, huge gamma print here. So we get over that potential next move 165s. And if we have a quick look at software, coming back down in a little bit, allowing room for these semis to get going. All right, we might need to come down in decently, but if they hold this, they can keep grinding higher, and I'm happy for it to do that. We're long in all the software names, and we're long in the mags, and we'll see how far we get. But I'm willing for this to come back down, because this has been quite the move, and it might need a reload. Right, individual names. Apple, right, slight gap down to flat here. And let me just zoom out of this. Yeah, this is starting to look a little bit dangerous. Right, that's certainly backside. Lower high, lower low. And if they lose this, you're watching that 300 break. Be very careful of that. Can drag the market if we get that. Amazon. Holding neutral zone again. It's a huge breakout that we had here on Amazon. So I'm kind of waiting to see if they do come back down to here. 70s is holding really well here. I haven't rebid that. I did say I would. I'm just waiting to see if we do a little flush first. So I'm slightly concerned on that on Amazon, but it's holding up well so far. Goog, right, we're under that level. That was the big over-under. So this is coming back in nicely into this liquidity pool that we broke out from. I would expect, all right, Goog to start trying to find a bid down here. This is what I've been waiting for on most of the names. So let's see. Meta, nice bid out, starting to look good, isn't it? I wouldn't mind a little flush out on Meta. All right, I wouldn't mind something like this before we get going for upside if it's going to do it. But again, opening up pretty much flat here. Microsoft, same kind of story. We've had a huge squeeze out here. It could do with a little reprice back down to 70s. It's not giving it at the moment, but potentially we've put that high in up here into 513s. We're coming back into this base. All right. If it loses this base, maybe we come back down into the range again, which wouldn't be too unhealthy for this, given the size of the move. Nvidia, starting to look better and better here, but we do have all this liquidity, but we are starting to hold. That's another undercut and hold here this week. So we'll see here if they are starting to get willing to go. So you're watching basically 17s and 15s for undercuts and holds to see if they can keep pushing this higher. And Tesla, that thing's still squeezing. And you can see the target, 340s. It's way off its old levels. If you think it's doing really good, like it's way, way, way off the back test still. We can bring you right down, mate. All right, it's way off a back test of 370s. So got lots of cool walls in here above it. Lots of room to go if it can keep squeezing up before sellers probably are willing to sell that back down. All right. Let's move this in. I'm going to take these signals off because it's a bit crowded right now and we don't really need them. You can go, sir. There we go. All right, this is overnight if you're wondering what this is. All right, let's see. Ideally, we pull back in this morning and give us something to bid out of because we're a bit extended here. And we wouldn't mind a nice pullback. Huge buying happening at these highs. We're near the expected move already. We're near previous week value area high already. We would love a pullback. So you've about a minute left to go. They'll fly to 500. They might. They might. But we'll see. They've got to get through 300 and 100 first. Let's just see, folks. If any of you value buyers bid at previous day's value area high, you're laughing right now, aren't you? You're laughing. This thing's on the move, on the charge. All right, huge buying at these highs. There's a lot of liquidity going through here early. And we'll see if we start to rip here and get above all value. Maybe I'll have a little go at it. We'll see. I'd much rather we come down here and hold the bid. And we'll watch this CPI high. Where's that? 960. We'll watch that as well. Huge buying up here at the moment. Just zoom out of Bookmap a minute. 950, 940. All right, Mag's coming back down a little bit. Sammy's doing the same. So maybe we'll get this move. If we're really lucky, they'll come down and give us a retest towards previous day high. This is towards CPI high at the moment. They might want to bid this at CPI high. Come on, come down. It'd be amazing if you'd come down here. It'd be absolutely amazing. ES doing the same, coming back down towards VWAP. And ideally we find a bid in here. Maybe even they wash underneath and reclaim. If they don't find a bid here, then we need to watch out for a full rotation. So lots of buyers at the highs now stuck. Have we got these on? Let's get these on. There should be lots of buyers up here. So you can see the sell pressure coming in this morning. That's your first big seller at these lows. Starting to see if he gets trapped for a bid out here. I'd much rather it came a little bit deeper first. But I'm now watching this. Mags have now closed their gap. Are they willing to bid this back out? Yes, coming back to VWAP. And it's to its key level now. They're going to need to hold this on ES. If they don't, then we're going to come for CPI low. Just letting this shake out here for now. So from here down towards 835 needs to start finding a bid. Basically, that's kind of the level. They got to start finding a bid down here on the flush down in. Here's previous day high tag. Selling piling in there. It's the first wiggle on the tape. Oof, so much that Bookmap's just given me a warning that it's struggling to keep up. All right, watching these 900s. Big buyers came in there, stuck again. We're into that kind of zone. We can come deeper if we need, but this is the first sort of wiggle on the tape here. Mags is getting absolutely crushed here underneath previous day low now already. Semi's holding on. ES to VWAP, and I'm starting to perk my interest here. And if we break back above 26s, I'll start to see if we can hold the print to move higher here. Failing that so far. Oh, I need volume on for you guys, don't I? Sorry about that. That's why I was saying sort of 26s if we break back above it and hold. Still selling coming in. Still they're bidding 850s and lower at the moment. Mag's getting absolutely hammered. Who's getting hammered there? It's Apple at the moment. Apple and Microsoft. Semis now coming back down in. They might come for that VWAP retest at 43s here. So this thing's staying heavy so far. Watching this level still. Still heavy tape. It's a new 5-minute bar. VPOC on the session is around these 900s, so there's no trigger until we get above some of this selling. We're into key levels, but they can keep walking this down. Mag's trying to come back inside previous day low. Still getting hammered there though, so still moving lower. So it just tried to back test, couldn't get back inside. Semis are starting to find a bit of a bid in front of VWAP. They've got to reclaim 45s here on semis. If they get slapped in that, they're going to move back down to VWAP. Okay, watching this. Bid's starting to form here, but they're not walking up yet. So I don't think they're ready yet. I wonder if they want to close to previous week close first. Watching this for a long trigger here. Here's through the 10s. See if they hold this pullback now. Right, I'm feeding into this long now. I want 10s to hold. Nice. All right, through VWAP. Let's see if we can get through this LVN up to 70s now off this blue box. Trimmed a little bit there as mag's getting a little bit stuck at PDC. Stop moving to break even. Let's see if we can go all the way up now. So blue box, this was the game before the market, right? I want to get long in the blue box if they're willing to hold. And ideally, we can start the squeeze now. Now, what we have to be careful of is if the mags and semis can't get back inside their pre-market range. So let's just see here, but looking good so far. Lots of big buying being absorbed at the moment. So stops in the money, and we'll just see what happens now. Ideally dips hold versus 07s. The reason I'm saying that level is because where a seller got a bit caught. I'm not convinced we've finished going down, but I've got a bit of risk on just in case it's ready. I am using order flow charts, mate. What do you think's above me? What do you think's over here? I just can't teach on here, on these charts the same way I can. All right, this needs to hold here, otherwise new lows and I'm out. Big rejection on semis of that 45 kind of level. So there's a battle starting to take place here. All right, out of this now, break even on that. And we'll wait and see if they're going to hold this low or not. Semis are breaking lower into VWAP here. Now the issue is if they're not willing to hold this, where's that CPI low? It's right down into this. Bid into 840 is possible. Yeah, basically the bottom of the box. If they let go of 840s, I think they're in trouble for this move lower. So flat now and waiting again. So pretty much break even on that in the end. I'm positive on it, but it's basically a scratch. Sorry guys, I'm not going to read any of the questions. I just want to focus on the charts for a minute. If you've got questions, we can go over them after. We're 9 minutes into the day. Let's focus on trading, as we come into the key levels. All right, there is some selling exhaustion down here. Semis are trying to hold the bid down here at the moment. Mag looks a little bit weaker. All right, 840s here. If they let go of this, I'm not ruling out this move back to CPI. So I'm going to be careful here. Sellers coming in. It's a little imbalance down here into 48s. Getting flat at the moment. I was waiting to see if they'd bid this blue box. I'm willing to bid this blue box if they're willing to hold it. If they can't hold it, then we have to consider that we might rotate the whole of CPI. Some selling got caught there into 58s. All right, I'll watch the same thing here for long if we're going to start to trap. Definite excess down there into 58s. So let's see if they hold him. At the moment, I would assume we come back to VWAP, honestly. But Mag's new lows, Semi still holding on. VIX's still getting crushed, sub 15s right now. Question is, does a bid form? ES looks like it's going to go for that CPI low. It really is not that far away for ES. Right, those sellers at the lows so far are remaining trapped. We've got this shelf here that they're going to keep selling against into 90s. So no long trigger until we reclaim all of this at the moment, unless we see these sellers remain trapped and they pull back and hold them trapped. Here's a push to 90s, which they're still selling against. There's still buy-side liquidity lower, all the way down to 30s at the moment. So we're not seeing that buy-side liquidity move up yet in a hurry to get filled. This is previous day high here. If we get back about above this, remember we're an outside bar, so it's quite a big level this. I'm interested in the bid here if they start to keep these sellers trapped. Here goes semis turning around. They're doing the VWAP to VWAP dance. Mag's new low and turning around, or trying to. It's still not inside of yesterday's bar yet. So big divergence here with the Mag 7 versus Qs. Right, we're holding above previous day high. Mag 7's below previous day low. All right, if we hold this pullback into previous day high, I'm going to try attempt a long here. It's a cheap long. All right, there we go. So I'm long, small size here at 90s. I'm not going to give this room. And ideally, we get back up towards the 30s and push. That was VPOC. And I'm going to risk like 20 points here. I'm going to risk down to that seller at 70s, and that's it. And this is all about the mags. The problem right now, this is what we have right now. All right, semi's doing a slight pullback after a gap up. Mags weak. That's under previous day low. So this is the rotation again. It's fun, isn't it? We get a huge move overnight, and then we get a rotation for us in the morning. It's a bit like yesterday. I need to see this break through 900. I'm just a starter long, just in case it wants to go with the sellers caught at the lows. New lows on mags. Not liking that. Who's heavy? Microsoft and Tesla. That thing can't find a bid. Starter's still holding well here though. All right, come on. Let's start getting going here. Come on, Max. Turn around and get through previous day low for us. Got to get back above this cool wall if we're going to get moving today. Mag's still breaking lower. Dangerous here. Semi's going higher. Mag's breaking lower. We're in a rotation. I'm not convinced in this right now. That is a huge divergence right now. All right, so semi's back up to that 145 over under. Mag's just continuing to break lower. Not sure I feel comfortable bidding on this because it looks like Mags want to come down to 68 right now. There ain't a bid to be found there this morning. They're getting slammed. So huge divergence here. All right. They opened up flat, getting sold. IGV sold. This starting to curl to go. So I've just got original position and that's it. I think Mags wants 68. And we're doing the VWAP to VWAP dance by the looks of it. The danger here is if semis reject this 145 and start selling and mags continue to sell, this thing will get nasty. So we're long right now from previous day highs. We'll see. There's the 145 rejection. This is the danger right now. There's the 145 rejection. This is the danger right now. They start selling that back down versus 145 and mag stays weak to 68. There will not be a bid on this market if they do that. And it means we will let go of this 840 and potentially come right down into here. all right, which is the CPI low. So they can reprice that whole CPI print if they want to. It really depends whether they're going to rotate or they're going to go together. Your guess is as good as mine, honestly, with how they've run this the last 4 months now. 4 months of this kind of stuff, other than a breakout of that range for a small period of time. They've rotated for 4 months. All right, still holding value area low, so I'm still long in this right now. That's my stop down there at 70s. We're at my sort of break-even point at the moment. Trying to give this chance, because yesterday I didn't give it enough room, so I'm trying to give it some room here. All right, semis 145 again. Can they get going? Come on, semis. Let's see. I'd love to get back up to highs here if we can get going. If we can start squeezing through 35s, we've got a real shot at it. Starting to flip. Soon enough, we can flip this. If we can squeeze through 35s, I think we go positive. Here we go. All right, now I will trim a little bit and then re-add if we base above, because I've got to pay myself in this market because we keep rotating. Let's see if we can come and attack this buyer who is at 35s. Oh, I've trimmed a little piece there, just in case they rotate value again on the session. See money, take money. But if we get above this and the market starts moving in unison, we can get going. There we go. There's the 35s. All right, let's see if we can start going up to today's highs now. So we're long from the blue box. All right, and this is the plan pre-market. And if we get lucky, we come all the way up here and we can target 30,100. Here we go. Beautiful. There's the squeeze I just talked about over 35s. Really lovely. And if we can hold 35s now, I'm going to add on dips. That's a 100-point trade, guys, there from previous day high up. Let's see if we can hold dips versus 35s now. 35s to 25, somewhere there we want to hold dips. And we would love the mag to get back inside previous day lows. We really would. Waiting to see if it can come back down towards 40 and maybe even lower towards 30s. And I can try and add here versus this, basically. I'm looking for this to build out here and then complete this move. So we're clear. So we're long. We're already long, folks. This was the second attempt, right? We're long from here. We're looking for this and we're risking value area low at the moment. My stop's now gone break even. I'm going to move this over just so you guys can see. Right, hopefully this pullback's in. There is a little imbalance here down to 30s. We'd like to fill some of that and then see if we can get going. Be careful if Max makes a new low here. It looks like it wants 68 on Max. That's the only thing. So we've got to hold value area high here, really. We've got to hold this dip coming in now. Semis look great. Mags look terrible. If you asked me 2 years ago whether I'd be bidding the market up when the Mag 7's breaking new lows, I would have laughed at you. All right, let's see. That's a good hold there so far. We didn't quite fill the imbalance down towards 35s yet. They're bidding down towards 25s. Come on. It's first imbalance filled there. Second imbalance filled. Third imbalance filled. Let's see if they hold this now. Don't rotate the whole fucking thing. Seriously. Oh, Mags, you're going to fuck this trade up, man. They're coming for 68s. This thing's just getting wrecked. Maybe they hold deeper. We'll see. Mags wants 68s, I can tell you. Semi's holding really well. I'm still just original core. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. What a market. Mag 7, you are garbage. You are fucking garbage. You are absolute garbage. They ain't going to find a bid till they get to 68s. Still break even on this. And I'm about to get taken out if we go previous day high. So we'll see. Semi's holding the bid well. Mags wants 68. Oh, this thing. This fucking thing. This rotational market. Who would do it? Here comes 68s on the mags. Now, if they lose that, we're going to come all the way down to 67, 60s. 68s is the cool wall. So they need to hold this, otherwise they're fucked, basically. Semis look great. Semis want the higher day breakout. They literally look completely opposite. Here's 68s coming in. Hopefully Mags finds a bid here. And we do a little turnaround. Microsoft getting wrecked here, 2% down on the day. So you can see the difference within the mag. Nvidia 2.5% up on the day, everything else red. Getting punished with software as we start to pull software back in, which it needs. Well, I'm still in this for now. A little front run of 68s there on the Mag 7. Now, if we reclaim value, I'll add into the long again. Fucking hell. One day we'll get an easy trade in this market. There's my break even. Amazing. Amazing. So this is the issue right now. This thing, don't want to play ball. All right, into 68s. If you look at that compared to the socks, when we were just trading this, we were up here, right? We got this huge drive up. So they're washing them around. Same as every day, unfortunately. It's making our life, especially in summer, it's making our life very, very hard as momentum and continuation traders. Very, very hard. Shit trade. I mean, really? There's no part of it that was shit. We held a high low. We held previous day high. You were over 100 points up. It just didn't hold. Like, the setup's good, mate, right? That's your first warning. I'm making note of your name. Don't be putting negative energy in the chat. All right, 68's coming back in here on a mag. Let's see if they hold the bid. Semi's still holding the bid. If 68's bid here, this thing's going to do the first trade we wanted. That's the funny thing. If they hold the 68 bid, this will work out and go back up again. And I probably won't be in it this time round. The danger now is that significant liquidity built out. And if they break these 40s, I can see it right down here. Here's 68's being traded. So again, I'm flat. I've effectively taken 2 break-even trades. I did scalp a little bit out each time, so I am green on the day, but nothing notable. Have a look at the 30-year. What's the yields doing? They're all down as well. Still just hovering at these 68s. They've not broken it yet. They're just there. Here's the break. And if they stay heavy here, they can come down to 67, 60s. Semi's still holding 24-hour view up, trading the midpoint of their range. I'm not bidding on this second time round. It's going to have to really prove to me. We're now beneath the previous day high. We're back in an inside bar. And if we rotate the inside, we can come and test previous day value area high. So I've got to wait for us to break over some key levels and show strength here. I want to buy strength. I'm not going to buy weakness in this market. And we're still inside the opening range as well, your white lines here. So we haven't taken either side of that yet. Back above previous day high, back into VPOC. They're selling VPOC. All these buys are lower still. The one concern I would have is all these buys are looking to get filled lower at the moment, all the way down to 800s. They have bids on the tape, which is basically, that's kind of no man's land, to be honest. That's that old wick high from Tuesday. Bid holding here again. There's the 68 bid on semis, on mags. All right, if we pull back and hold towards 900s, I will consider one more attempt at this. Did ES sweep? Okay, did sweep. That's good. Let's see if this pullbacks and holds towards 900. Please don't just go stupid upside. I am at my fucking wit's end with this market at the moment. What's this? 90s, LVN, 76s. All right, so semis, current lower days, 90, 67, 98. So they held the bid at 68s for now. For mag, sorry, and semis holding their big bid at VWAPs. I want to get long in this if we can pull back and hold. Say it's exactly the same entry criteria as earlier. Seller exhaustion there. Let's see if we pull back and hold. It would have to show me that it can hold here. I'm not just going to bid on it for no reason. There's still a lot of bids lower here. All right, semis back to that 68. All right, I'm risk on, small size there into previous day high. Exactly the same entry as earlier. I'm only going to risk value area low. Because if we break that, then I think we go 40s and we can snap. Come on, semis. Lift, please. Help me out here. Mag's being a pain in the butt. Huge buying activity taking place at previous day high. We need to move away from that to the upside because they've just come piling in there. What kind of size? 200 lot just came flying in there at my entry. Right, my stop's moving actually. Break even now. Into previous day high because I don't like those buys there. If they get liquidated, I get run out. Holding it for now. Can see them, they came flying in here. Good hold again. Can we move upside now, please? Well, we got a D-shaped profile. We're 30 minutes into the day, and we're doing nothing but rotate this profile now. And mag breaking down, potentially to new lows here, while semis are looking pretty strong. And there's new lows on the mag. And there's my stop. Oh, this might be a leave alone for a little while here. Well, we had 3 attempts at it, so that's enough bites at the cherry there. This is all about the mags right now. They're dragging. If we look at the breadth, they are dragging right now. This is old. That's not accurate. There we go. Right, it's about this guy. Microsoft, Palantir, CRM, Amazon, Tesla, Meta, Google, Apple, dragging. Semis look great. Look, these all look great. They're dragging the market. I'm concerned about trading this market in general right now. Like, I can't see us getting out of this AI circular trade for a long time. And I think as day traders trading an index, I did talk about this like a few months ago, it's going to be very hard. I think the edge is a diminishing edge in this market right now if they're going to keep doing this trade. It's a stock picker's market. It's much easier to pick the stocks which are moving at the moment than to try and trade the index. Well, if you're going to trade to another futures market, I would suggest you trade something which isn't index based. Go and trade gold or silver or oil, so it's not reliant on this circular move, on the rotational move. Mag clear breakdown here, so we're flat again. Break even, so we're break even here, small winner, decent winner, break even, third attempt. And semi's coming back down towards that 67, 60s. I tell you what, sorry, mag, and I tell you what, they lose that, they're coming down to 66.50s. And the market would be in real problems if they do that. That would be weekly lows on the mag. And they lose that. Then we probably come back down to 64s. All right, they're bidding the edge of this range at the moment, back inside value. If they lose this blue box, you can't rule out the move down here. That's the danger right now. And that's another 100 points lower, right? Right to the edge of it. They went right to the fucking edge of it. Okay, this might be like yesterday when I'm like, do I have a 4th attempt? I've already had 3 attempts. That's kind of the rule for me. 3 attempts of 1 trade. That's kind of the rule for me. And they're not progressing under here. They are holding the hourly RBS very well here. This is the trade. It's the same idea as earlier. All right, here's your hourly. Resistance becomes support. It's also a thin level. We're looking for this move here. If they lose this, we come back inside, and that's the dance. So this is why I've been trying to get long out of here all morning. What's the bet? This is going to be just like yesterday. The fourth one's going to go. The fourth one is going to go. Semi's back through the New York VWAP. Mag's back to 68 here. I might have one more shot at this. I mean, I've taken 2 break evens, so it's not like I'm down on it like yesterday, but we'll see. Be very careful the rotation of all of this. Maybe I'll have one more shot at it if we pull back in and hold again. You feel like we sweep CPI lows. I mean, if it lets go of this, then I agree with you. But all the time we're holding this, it's got an hourly base to move higher. Which is why I want to be long in this blue box and not long if we can't hold the blue box, right? We'll see if we pull back and hold value area low or previous day high here. And we're going to need MAG to get back above 68 in this 5-minute bar. Can I get long in this? $68 level is massive. All right, I put some long on there, folks, in front of previous day highs. Exactly the same trade. Nothing's changed. It's identical trade. 4th attempt, right? 4th attempt. So it's the same as this. It's exactly the same. Every attempt's been this trade. It's this trade. Looking to see if we can get up into this. Mag's at 68. This is our big level. If you want to scalp, I don't blame you. We're right of epoch right now, so. Back through the 68s. Nice. Come on, Mags. All right, let's go. Let's go then, please. Let's play ball here. So targets here. Through the 20s, I'm looking for this same squeeze. I want high of day and I want up here. This is what I'm targeting today. Whether it gives it to me or not is another thing. So this is 4th attempt, same trade. 2 break evens, 1 small winner, and we'll see if this one wants to play ball. At the moment, we keep getting stuck at value area high, which is 25. So if we get through 25s and through 35s, we can really get moving. So we've seen first sign of relief here on the MAG with the semis, IGV. Let's see if the market wants to keep these moving. And then we can move back up to the high side here, if it's going to be polite. Huge seller coming in here. Let's hope that we can absorb him at 08s and use his pain to move higher. That would be useful. There we go. Right, I'm starting to see what I want to see now. This is good. And I'd like the bid to now hold 08s. I really don't want this washing machine at value back down again. And we want Mags to hold 68s now. All right, we want Prince to hold 68s. And we'd love if semis would get going to the upside. So here's the move back towards 08s. We'd like them to bid this here. Otherwise, they're going to come back to 900s. Good bid at 08s so far. Nice. That seller's remaining stuck so far. We just talked about right here. And let's see if we can lift it. There we go. Good hold of 68 on Mags. Right, I want to trade through 36s here for upside squeeze. Go. Big buyers at those highs. Be careful. Huge buyers just came in here. You can see it. I might have to make these a bit brighter, eh? Right. There we go. Is that better? That's a bit better. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can get going. So I want to trade through the delta at 36s. I want us to squeeze through 36s and give us New York open all the way up here. I'm trying to target this purple box, right? I want to come up here. This is what I would like to see. Whether it gives it to me or not is another thing. That's what I'm trying to target. It's a failure of value so far again. Right, trim some here because I don't want to go all the way back down again if they're going to do another full rotation of value. So I've trimmed some there. This is getting tiring now. They need to hold these bids, otherwise we're coming back break even on the runner for number 4. Losing my fucking mind here. Losing my fucking mind here. Come on, market. We'd have 2 unfinished auctions on that drive up as well. I think they're going to hold this, but they ain't making it easy. They are not making this easy. Come on, you left unfinished auctions. Get a fucking move on. Oh my God. There we go. Probably should have added into that, to be honest. That's the trade, folks. Oh my God. Again, why do we do this for a job? Why do we do this for a job? I can't wait to never have to do this again. Give me a job as a cowboy. Oh my God. I'm getting tilted. I'm honestly not getting tilted. It's frustrating, but I'm not tilted. We break this last low, I'm out. I can't believe that's left me in there. So this LVN is still holding down here, and we cannot accelerate away. We should be accelerating away, but we can't. There's lots of unfinished auctions up here to come and reprice, so I'm hoping we can get something to go here. My least favorite profile. This. Let's just do the rotational bullshit for a whole fucking session, so fantastic. We're holding RBS, but we won't extend up. So we won't let go of the RBS. We won't extend the RBS up. We're just Keep washing machining everything. Mag's back to 68. If they don't hold the bid here, this thing's going to get in trouble. Semi's going absolutely nowhere. They're still inside their 15-minute orb. That's how little they've done today. Passive sellers up here. Buyers now not willing to step up at the moment. Waiting to see if they come on the tape. We are just flat. Oh, mate, look at this. It's incredible. VIX under 15s, trading at 14.18, and this thing can't move. It can't move. Meta now 2% down, so they're now selling Meta and Microsoft together. Let me just have a look at those individually. I mean, they can keep coming back in. They can keep coming back in. Softy's found a bid at a key level. So Softy looks better. $68's held again. There's a little dunk underneath on the mags and a hold. We are now seeing delta divergence at this previous day high. So buyers are trying to absorb it, lower time frame. They are trying to absorb this LVN right now, these buyers. Maybe now we get going. I tell you, if I get this trade to go today, it's going to be some incredible patience from me, because I am very close to just taking this off and just not being bothered, because we are not moving quick enough for me to be a happy man. Thank you. Hey, Luna, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? All right, let's see. Do they want to do it, or is it just going to be more rotation of this node? Oh, it's hot. Take this low and I'm out. There you go. That's my stop. I tried to give it. I really tried to give it a chance. I tried to give it a chance. Well, those comms have chewed me up. Here's my day. This is how good I am at risking. All right, nice and tight, but I get back just on the comms alone there. Was up nice on that 100-point move, but I didn't take it all off because I was looking for more. Scalping rotation, the only play yet. I know. You're absolutely right at the moment. Patient now. Rough day. Yeah, it's funny. Days like this I find more rougher than just eating a big loss, because it's more like the plan's there. We've had the reactions. There's just no follow through. And we're not going to get follow through until the mags just finds a bid. And at the moment, you know, if we go through, this is a problem. Bring this over for you. All right, Apple almost 1% down, Amazon just under 1% down, Google 0.5%, Meta 2.12%, Microsoft 1.73%, Tesla 1.76%, right? Equal weighted mags 1% down. That's dragging the market, where equal weighted semis 3% up, right? Huge divergence. They're doing the rotation. So remember, mags caught a bid the last 2 weeks. We're pulling back on the mags. It's expected, all right, and they're bidding semis with it. Now, I would happily get short if they want to sell both, but that's not what they're doing. They're pulling mags back and buying semis, and by doing that, they're going to keep the market like this, right? Right, higher time frame I'm talking about. But ignore this. I'm not talking about this specifically. In fact, so you don't get confused, let's just draw it up here. All right. If mag has done this and semis have done this, right, and they're now bidding semis and pulling mag back, what it does to NQ is keep it flat. And then when they're ready to do the breakout move, these will go the same direction. And that's what they're doing. They've just fucking held it again after taking me out. Oh my God. Lordy, lordy. Lordy, lordy. This blue box is a big level, as you can see. But yeah, that's still my thesis. I will only think about lower if we let go of this whole thing. All right, if we let go of this, you can think about this trade. I'm not getting short in here. For me, that's too risky because you're betting against the H1 at that point. So it's a long out of this and it's a short under it. And that's it. We're just glued here. All right. We're getting tight, man. Starting to see this continual absorption down here. I'm just looking for that move. I don't know, folks. Mag's back to 68. Let's see if they get through that. Semi's now just still stuck midpoint of a range as well. This would be the 5th attempt at it. Yesterday it took 4 attempts. Today, obviously, it's going to need over 5 attempts. Does anyone ever feel sorry for me, or do I just feel sorry for myself? Oh, God. You just got to laugh. You got to laugh. All right, to edge of value again, back to midpoint. Let's see if they hold the bid here again. It's a good hold of the bid there. I think you're going to print higher now. See if we can get involved in it. I'm going to shrink my size so much down now. All right. You need this mag 7 to hold 68s here and go. Simple as that. And then you need the semis to start breaking out through 146s. You get that, you get your move. It's amazing how many big orders are coming in both sides. Like they're getting through the orders, that's for sure. All right, there's your 25s. You should lift 35s now and then break to highs. Here it goes. I'm in this. I'm a small piece, very small piece. If we start to base above, I can start to add into the winner. So there's the midpoint, there's the 25 break, there's the 35 break, and you should squeeze to highs now if the market wants to get going. Which still is the same trade. This is the nothing's changed. It's the same trade. Congrats those who are in it with size still. And you'd want all pullbacks to hold value now, right? You'd want to hold sort of 25, 20-ish. You want to hold that kind of level, right? Into here, you want this to become a base now that you've broken out from it. And for this, you do not want it back down to the midpoint, all right? You must hold this, otherwise it's going to come right back down to the midpoint again. It's looking better. In general, this is looking better. Broader market, I mean, I'm watching mags moving up through 68s now, and semis trying to get back up to their New York Open. So this is looking better. Nice, Mags. Good. Right, semis, can you just join in together? Just for a brief moment here. Do you fancy just joining in so we can get up to towards the New York Open? Be really nice if you would just join in. There we go. Come on. Come on. Right, they need to hold this bid here, otherwise they're going to come back down to 900s. They're pulling back together. They won't break out together, but they'll pull back together. Of course they will. Of course they will. You got to get back above the 25s here and soon, otherwise you're going 900s. Fuck me, mate. Fucking Mags. All right. I'm out. I can feel tilt. I'm out. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm finished. That's it. I'll sit here for the session, but I can feel tilt now. It's the first time today I can feel it. Now I'm pissed off. Fucking washing machine trade, man. This is ridiculous. This might be the worst I've seen it wash between them. This might be the worst I've seen. I am looking at options, mate, but I'm not watching SPX. I'm watching the Qs because what I'm trading is the Qs. High, low, maybe, but you're back inside the range again. And that's why I'm not interested now. This is problematic. All right. If we're going to break out from this, we need to hold it. If you don't break out, that's a fail break and you're back to the midpoint again. And if they lose this, they come back to the downside again. And, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. There you go. There's your fail break. This is why I'm out of it. I understood that that was a fail break. It's a fucking market, mate. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. There's the sweep of the 40s. I'm going to assume Donald or someone has said something. Oh, yes. Here we go. The USA has taken control over the Strait of Hormuz. I think we will keep it. A wall of steel, and there's nothing Iran can do about it. They have no navy. They have no air force. God, I've heard this before. The remaining soldiers are unpaid. They are IRGC decimated and fleeing. And their leadership is uncertain at best. They have no money. Their country is shot. All that they have is fake news and 300% inflation. Heard that before. Heard that before. Don't believe a word of it. We have control of the state. We have control of the strait. You watch. There'll be fucking a ship burnt and set on fire within the next 10 days. The volume profile indicated shorts today. No, it didn't. I don't know what you guys are looking at. So what are we doing here? There's your CPI print. What did we hold? Previous day's value. What are we doing? Migrating value higher. At what point is that indicating a short? H1 is pulling back and holding. We're above value. We're migrating value higher. There's nothing in here other than a rotation. It's bullish rotation. That's it. Yeah, current session profile is rotational, exactly. But we're holding, again, don't be too zoomed in. What are we doing? Why was I trying to be bullish in this blue box today? Okay, well, it's a LVN. We have thick levels underneath. We've already showed a willingness to hold value in CPI. We're trying to see if we can hold a higher low here, which is also an RBS, right? We're trying to look for that move. It's not coming, and that's okay. That's trading. But that's what we're trying to look for. Now you've got news, so like I said, I'm flat. I think I'm probably done for the day, folks. How can you tell if you're positive or negative gamma based on the charts alone? Well, you couldn't based on just candlesticks, could you? You'd have to read the options, which is what this is down the side, all right? Neg gamma, neutral, pos gamma, all right? Or you just come to Tanuki. I don't know where it's gone. Yeah, positive gamma. They are on the charts in front of you. They're right here. It's showing you. Okay. Well, they're still holding underneath value. They're still holding the H1 level. Max, however, has dropped right down towards its low of day now. If you want to see the damage, tilt's got nothing to do with the damage to my accounts, right? If you want to see the damage to my accounts, ain't nothing bad here, right? It's nothing to do with having a red day. It's more to do of the amount of times I've had to go at this and taken break-even cuts. Now, I know 3 is really my max. I had to go at 4. I tried the continuation trade at 5. Kaput. That's me done, right? Because what will happen now is at some point, I either won't take a stop or I'll be overly aggressive because I'm pissed off. And that will lead to major problems. Overtrading, well, yeah, you could argue overtrading. I mean, I gave it more of a chance because we were long and we broke even. We were long, we took a partial and we were break even. We were long and we were break even. We were long, we added into winner and we're break even. Or I think I got long later and added into winner and break even. Or I think I took like a small loss there actually. It was controllable. It's not like I take a big loss, I take a big loss, I take a big loss, I swing for the fences and take another big loss. But at this point, can feel it in me. So this is just me being honest, right? This is part of trading. This might be my second red day in a row. I cannot remember the last time that happened. Genuinely, I can't remember the last time that happened. My stops are always to do with structure. I never use a cash stop. Cash stop, that's... Market doesn't care about your cash. I talk about this all the time. I don't understand people that use a cash stop. The market, unless your cash stop is well underneath a swing point or some form of volume shelf, why would the market care about your cash? It wouldn't. It doesn't. It never will. Right? It doesn't move based on that. It moves based on rotations. If they now fucking send this to 30,100, I think you might see Alex scream. I might absolutely lose it. I might lose it on stream. Yeah, bias has remained this. And nothing's changed. Like, this is the same as I can show you. Right, this is what I was talking about. Pre-market. Looking for a hold of this. This is the first move I'm looking for. A hold of this level. 940s, right? You see it here? 940s. I'm looking for a hold of this into the purple box. At the purple box, we either build liquidity for a huge drive into the weekly expected move, or we see a failed breakout and a trade back inside and downside to the blue box. If we lose the blue box, we trade down to previous day value area high. That's why for me, there is no short in this market unless we lose this or we see this kind of move here, right? It's a rotation, and for me, it's a H1 hold for long until we lose that. And that's how I stick to my rules, right? The plan is there. We went over it pre-market. Do I consider today a day the market decided to play games? Not really. It just clearly, that move on CPI probably did enough damage that we now need to build liquidity before it thinks about what next. Now, I remain, as I keep saying, I remain bullish on the H1 all the time we're holding. There's nothing in this on the H1 to suggest we're bearish. The problem is that we can't get moving to rotate the daily node, right? So if we think about this, just think about what we're in, right? We're an outside bar, which is bullish. We've held pullbacks, which is bullish. We're into the edge here, which I'm just looking to clear out. My trade, I'm just looking to clear that out. From that point on, if we hold, great. If we don't, that's also fine. I'm just looking for the clear out trade. It won't come. It won't come. And it's probably because that CPI move was so big. This was so big. All right. If they hadn't done this, if they'd walked us down to here today, I'd be bidding out of that. All right. But they haven't, so I have to respect this structure and try and bid out of that. It's not even win frequency, you know, Orchard. It's not even win frequency. It's your expected return frequency, right? Because your win frequency could be 99%, but your expected return frequency could be awful. Because if your win frequency was 5 ticks, 5 ticks, 5 ticks, 5 ticks, 5 ticks, and the loss was 150 points, all right, then you're in trouble. You're in trouble. So it's more about just like, I have to control myself at this. I know what my tilt factors are. I've talked about it so many times for years. Break-even trades, too many in a row, are a tilt factor for me. Too many red days in a row are a tilt factor for me, which means tomorrow I'm going to have to trade very small size. It might even be that tomorrow, just to protect my mental capital, I might not even link my accounts tomorrow. Right? It might just be like, get back on the horse, get a green day under the belt. And the rotation. Comes the rotation. Well, there ain't a lot we can do with this right now, folks. I'm sorry. You're in a huge D shape with a giant shelf, and they're unwilling to move out of it at the moment. Your only plays really are to trade this rotation, to see if they want to hold, or be willing to fade under. If they come under and they fail to reclaim, that's the fade. What is amazing is there's a huge amount of orders going through this book today. I mean, look at this. Both sides. Huge amount of orders going through. It almost feels like an OPEX week, and it isn't. That would be next week. How long do previous day and previous week LVNs and high VNs valid for? They remain valid until we trade through them and trade the other side. Like, I keep them on my screens, but I'm mainly looking at previous day and current week and previous week. I'm not really looking at too many weeks before that, unless they're unmitigated, if we haven't tapped into them and repriced them. Did I build and develop Flow Zone? Yes. Did I notice CPI low Friday POC? What I noticed was it was previous day's value area high. It was previous day's value area high. If you look at it, that's your CPI low. There's your 1 hour flow zone. There's a previous day value area high. There's a current week value area low. Dip and go. These traders got rewarded. Anyone who got to buy deep discount today, all right, which was current week value area low and holding above yesterday's profile, they've been rewarded. Anyone else has really had a tough time. You've had a tough time of it, really. You can see under here we're thin. That's where we traded down to yesterday, right? There's yesterday's trade. That was the shorts breaking down. We held it. We've gone all the way up now. We put the move up was this, right? That was your CPI print. That's why I'm trying to now do that. All right, it's what I've been trying to do all day. I'm not really interested in this move down here because we're holding this, right? So structurally, looking for upside. It just won't do it. Or it probably will do it. It just won't do it for me. Smash the like buttons for giveaways. Yeah, we will do some giveaways. We will do some giveaways. How are we doing on the likes today? I never ask you guys to do it. Always forget. 1,200 likes, we're doing Apex giveaway. 1,500 likes, we will do a My Funded Futures Rapid giveaway. All right. So there's plenty of you in here. There's at least 1,700 of you in here who haven't hit the like button. So 1,200 likes, Apex, 1,500 likes, My Funded Futures. Am I using NinjaTrader for order flow? Yeah, I use NinjaTrader and I use my indicator Spectra. You can find it on the website, flowzonetrader.com. And then I'm using Bookmap, as you can see above me. Do I full port long? I mean, I wouldn't, but you do what you do. VP is set to 2 ticks, yeah. Update on the donation. I've emailed the company, the charity, because I want to make sure the money is going to go to 988. So that's all we're waiting on. I've got the artwork done. I will do a video for it. Everything's ready. I'm just waiting on confirmation of that. So I'm just doing my due diligence just to make sure it's going to go to the right places. What made you choose Austin over cities like Houston or Dallas? Numerous things. I've got some friends there. Number one, I really like the vibe of Austin. It reminds me, and it's going to sound funny, but it reminds me more of when I lived in East London. It's a walkable city. I really like Congress. I like the food and the bar culture there. Yeah, it offers a lot, and I love the lakes. So I will be in hill country. Before I moved to London, I grew up in like a forest in the south of England. So the greenery makes me feel good. So I will be near the lakes. I will be looking to get like a boat and go paddle boarding and wake surfing, all that stuff with my wife. That will replace the surfing here. And then we're still only like a 4 to 6 hour drive away from the beach. So if we do want to go surfing with the sharks down in Texas, we can do that. It's a walkable city. It offers a lot. Do you smoke green? No. I'll have edibles, but I don't smoke. I smoke cigars and that's it. Did the house in the UK go through? So far, so good. So far, so good. We accepted the offer. We're moving through. We've signed with lawyers. All the paperwork's done. So, you know, unfortunately, we are in a chain, not our side. Like, the buyer has accepted an offer on their place, and hopefully it goes through by October. It's illegal in Texas. Yeah, I know. It's not a big deal to me. I don't choose where I live based on whether I can have edibles or not. Austin's top 10 for higher education population in the US may contribute to the vibe. Yeah, probably right. Alex, is there any other news or somebody important speaking so that the market is waiting? Because this is choppy. Not really. No. Treasury balance later, but no. We're just in a liquidity building stage, honestly. We expect choppiness based on the daily, don't we? Like, if it's not going to hold, right, if it can't hold above previous day high, then it'd be a fail breakout and we come back inside the range. So think about this. This is high of week. This is low of week. We have the chance for a breakout previous day high to move higher. They might need to build out here. It might do it for a whole day before they have the ability to do it. I was looking basically to come and clean these out. All right, I think there's so many stops up here that they'll be cleaned out. I don't know if the breakout would continue above it because we're an LVN up there that's being protected. But I was looking just to come and swipe, ideally, some of these players. I was looking for this to lead to this. And then after that, if they want to hold and go, great. This would be the weekly expected move, 400 to 500. If they did a fail breakout, then we rotate this range again, which would be like what we did here. Okay. So I'm looking to see if we get this move, and if we can't hold it, we trade this range again. It's absolutely fine. And back down we come. Now I would say, if they can't hold the bid down here, the wash starts, right? If they can't hold the bid down here, this move here starts. New lower day on mags. Who's getting nuked? Meta and Tesla getting absolutely nuked down there. Yeah, exactly. That's the other reason for I was never going to move west. Well, there's nowhere west I can go, but I wanted to be in a better time zone for my life because it's still it's 10 to 8 here. Why do I feel like you guys are just like asking the same questions over and over again? Am I using order flow on NinjaTrader for the third time today? Yes. And back to value area low and bidding out of 24-hour VWAP. And back to this midpoint again. And failing previous day high now. There ain't nothing to do in it. Sell pressure is building on this now, but they're still holding those key levels. The VIX is a volatility index. Normally, when we're down here at sub 15s, low teens, it will allow a slow lift or rotational market. It's dampened volatility, so your ATR on the session and will be lower, which is what we're seeing, right? We're coiling and tight. There's a video coming on Spectra. And it's the third attempt at doing it. It's coming. I promise. I'm like I talk about. I'm a one-man band. I can only do so much, and if I don't like the content that's produced, if I make it and give it to an editor, I have to find someone else. But I'm trying someone else at the moment. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's coming. 0TTE. Yeah, they are probably getting nuked today. It's not moving fast enough for them, is it? Same as me. I like a market which starts to accelerate. Well, you're now rejecting point of control. You're rejecting volume. You're rejecting previous day high. It's looking more and more possible that this move here can happen. More and more possible now. And we're back to the opening range low. That's all we are. Opening range low. We're right back there. So let's see if they break out of the IB and opening range or not. Same trade as yesterday. No. No, structurally is different. Yes, yesterday made sense for that drive down. Structurally, it's a little bit different at the moment. Because we pivoted over the key levels from yesterday. Now, look, it looks like we might lose those, but structurally it's different. If we lose these, we start talking differently, right? You can see this this level here, 850, 840 is really big. They just bid it again. Have I tried day trading other futures recently? No, I haven't. But I will be, I tell you what, if this market continues, I'm going to focus more and more on swing trading individual stocks because that's where the edge is going to be. We've had big index moves for a long time. If they're going to go rotation within sectors, I'm going to focus on hot sectors and individual names within those sectors because that's what will start paying money. Do I have a course on swings? I don't know. But it's the same principles, guys. You're just trading higher time frame. You're looking at monthly, weekly, daily levels. You're looking at RBS levels. You're looking at where people got offside, and then you just want to follow trend. Unless you're playing relief and you're looking for squeeze relief on something that's been battered down, really you're looking to play a higher time frame trend, and you just want to buy good names that you can sit in, or you want to buy good names in hot sectors, or you want to buy a name that's breaking out and parabolic in a sector which is starting to find a big move, and you just try and sit in it for a week or so, or at least the first 2 days of the move after the first break. And then if runners go, runners go. Bond auction at 11:30. Yeah. Well, we had the same yesterday, and we saw a small amount of weakness from that auction, but not a lot. We did walk down afterwards, but do I share my swing trades? Yes, they're in Discord. There's no answer to that question. Do I think swing ranges are better to trade than intraday ranges? It's I'm not being an idiot, but it's an irrelevant question, because the only relevancy of that is what kind of trader you are. If you're a day trader and you're only focused on swing ranges, it's not going to help that much, right? Intraday ranges are going to matter for you if you're scalping day trading. If you're a swing trader, probably don't want to focus on intraday ranges. You probably want to focus on the weekly ranges. So it depends what kind of trader you are. All right, you're starting to see some form of rejection of value here to trade lower. Meanwhile, the mags is trying to reclaim back inside, and semis are still holding on to view up. So there's some excess at these lows, but there's no reclaim of value area low for a trigger long. This market just feels a little bit dead. If they get back inside a value, they can try and squeeze back up to 900s again. But even that, you know, what are you looking at? 25-point trade? I mean, it's not even worth it. TSM's about to break out. Yeah, well, it's where the strength came from in semiconductors this morning. SMCI as well. They started to find a bid on this last night. Let's see. There's the bid last night, so we're in a holding pattern. And they probably need a retest of this and then make their decision, or a little dunk under here and go. And if they lose this, that would be a fail break. No, Marcel. No, you're not getting access. If you don't do the course, you're not getting any access to the Discord. I've always maintained that, and that will never, ever, ever change, because that is the beginning of the end of Discords. When you let people in who trade different ways and have different opinions and don't understand models, that is the end of communities. Been there, done that, seen it, been part of it. We'll never do it. Not going to happen. I could charge a monthly fee for my Discord, right? I don't, because it would ruin people in there. I promise you. That's like, it would. It would. You'd have people paying however much money to be in there, and they'd all have opinions, because opinions are like assholes, and they'd all trade different ways, and they wouldn't be looking after each other, and then that would be the end of the Discord. And I've seen it before. I've seen it many, many times. The best trading communities, normally, to be honest, you have to do a course and then you pay a monthly fee on top of it. With mine, it's just you pay a course. I mean, I'm not sure where this pressure is coming from at the moment, as mags are trying to reclaim its old range and semis are holding on here. What's IGV doing? IGV's weak. Yeah, just patient here, folks. At the moment, you're seeing this rejection of value. Like, if they break this, there's a chance that they can really start moving down into here. I think I'm finished for today. Do I ever do discounts? We did one probably like 2 months ago. It's very rare. I might do 1 or 2 a year. Honestly, it's so much value of what I already give at that price. It just is. So, has anyone been kicked out? Yep, I've kicked one person out. Do you know why he got kicked out? Because he stopped trading like everyone else. He started making things up. Oh, we're going to trade moon cycles now and stuff like that. And I gave him fair warning numerous times, and then he was aggressive towards members. I gave him one more warning, and then he continued to be aggressive, and then he got booted out and banned. So that's why. Everyone gets a fair shot in there. I feel like I'm pretty kind. But if you're going to try and trade other methodologies which don't exist, you have to remember lots of traders are new and they're looking to learn, and you can influence them, and you need to be a positive influence on them. And if you're not going to be a positive influence on them, you need to either be quiet or leave. All right, initial balance swept. Previous week close is down here. Still the bid is holding down here. If they lose this bid down here, though, the deeper move can come. This is slowly being walked down now, and I'm not ruling that out if they do start to see rejection here, but we'll see. They haven't even taken the news wit low yet. Tape is so slow. It's so slow. Right, reclaim of IB. Semi's going absolutely nowhere. They've gone nowhere all day long. All I can think here is, if there are shorts, if there's genuine selling in this market, they're not doing a very good job, because they should be down here. They need to get down here if they're going to do that. So if they keep piling in and they don't get that move, the rotation and then squeezes on again, and there's absorption down there again underneath initial balance. There's just no real big orders. It's just so slow now. We're just asleep. Back to IB. Mag's new lower day again. Semi still holding on. Slight reaction of mags at lower day. Semi starting to bid back up now. This is what I mean. If they trap the sellers down here and they don't get their way, do we have a go? Maybe I'll take copier off like yesterday and have a go on one account if we hold here. Look at that move. We've just caught the sellers down there. Right, I'm going to watch if this holds a pullback now. And I'm going to trade one single account. Watching this value area low right here, right now, to see if they trap sellers around here for the bid back up. Mag's breaking down, semi's ripping up. At least something's moving. All right, I'm bidding that. Partial fill there. Let's see if we can come down towards 60s. Added a little piece more there. Here we go. Let's see. I want to get back through previous day high here and then move up towards 900s. And I'm going to take partials on the way. I'm going to see if I can get some of these accounts in a better, or one of these accounts in a better spot. We can't have this as the semis get stuck here. We're going to do the rotation. They've got to move. Nice bid on Mag. Looks good. Willing for this to come back down to IB if it needs. See if we can break though. Come on. So I'm going to pay myself a tiny piece at previous day high. And then a little bit more at 900. I'm watching this LVN here because we keep rejecting it. I'm just trying to see if we can get a wick up here to get a little piece off. Another rejection of LVN. Should be able to get it if they can lift. Mag's weak again. Is it Tesla or is it Meta that's really dragging? Tesla's curling. It's Meta. Goog as well. Goog almost into its P1, so it should find a bid soon on Goog. Amazon through P1 already. Apple looks bad here at lower date. Slightly concerned here, going through these names. Apple looks like it's about to break lower here. All right, let's see if we hold IB. There goes the break. I don't think it's going to move. Semi's just failed to break out and Apple looks weak. Mate, these things are absolutely stuck on a 5 minute. We're going nowhere. We are going nowhere. The thing that's concerning me slightly is this breakdown here. We're going to go neg gamma now on Apple. And they can really drive this into that 300. And that's where our price alert is, remember. And this looks bad. Still holding IB. My stop's still in there. Amazon looks all right. Google doesn't look great. Meta's trying to curl but can't get back through IB. Softy needs to hold a high low here. Nvidia needs to hold PDC. Tesla's trying to curl. So this guy is problematic. We need to get you back inside, mate. Well, we held our beat, which is good. So still in this. There we go. Come on, semis. Up you go. All right, here's my fill into previous day high. I'm filling some off here, like I said I would. I'm going to have to be cautious. Now, if we get through previous day high, next level we're looking at is 900s and then 920s. Look at the H1 chart. I'm not like, look, chat's going off. Some of you guys can't read charts. You're acting like I don't know what I'm doing, honestly, what some of you are saying. Please, just stop. Stop. All right, we want all pullbacks to hold 70s. They left an imbalance at 60s, which is where my entry is. If we get back above this red line, we go outside bar again on the daily. Dawn, you're getting removed because you don't know what you're talking about. It's not 80 darts, mate. It's sticking to the same plan. I've tried to be patient with you. I've seen you talk so much shit and you have now lost the ability to be in here. I've tried and tried and tried. Goodbye. We tried and tried and tried. Nothing's being walked down, all right, you fucking idiot. Nothing's being walked down. It's a pullback into a key zone, which we are still holding. There is no break below that. I will look for shorts. Like I said, if we break below this zone, we're not doing that. We're in a rotation of an H1 build, which can hold. It's not me that's the idiot. It's you. And if you start being in here, insult me and anyone else, you're all getting fucking removed because I don't need to be here each day. Absolute clown shows in here. And if it's being walked down so much and you think they've done such a good job, all right, then why is it we're not breaking out under this? Why is it we're not doing that? You got no brain. Like I said, it's a failure to break down. They're not moving under the blue box, which was the pre-market plan. If we hold this, we're looking for longs. If we lose this, we're looking for shorts. Nothing's changed with me, mate. Only thing's changed if I have to deal with fucking idiots like you who don't know what they're talking about and talk to me like you know more than me. You don't. Your statement just proved it. Fucking people. Exactly. I'd love to take them to the train station. I would. I would. Be fun. They definitely ain't patched in, I tell you that much. Yep, the Yellowstone train station. Exactly. Well, we just held value, or attempted to hold value again there. Pullback starting to hold on semis above VWAP now. And if they start breaking, this thing will start lifting. All right, so failed breakdown on semis, higher low on semis. But they're obviously walking the market down because they're doing a real good job of making lower lows all the time, aren't they, on a higher time frame? Fucking idiots. I can't believe I have to explain this every day. It's insane. And we look good here. It's actually insane. Why do I prefer Nasdaq over ES? I think for day trading, it's better. For intraday trading. For swing trading, it's worse. For day trading, it's better. Why? Because you have less sectors in it. So you don't have to watch as many sector rotations. Right? So I don't have to worry about industrials or finance or healthcare. All right. If we get a market where tech strong and mag strong, please, again, maybe it would give it to us one day again. All right. Then we go into a pro trend move higher. If we get a market where they're all weak, we go into pro trend move lower. If we get a market like this where they keep rotating between them, we get a rotational market. All right. So whereas on ES, you've had to worry about so many sectors. And that's why. I don't think the data it's going to get swept. It can very well get swept, but I'm positioned long at the moment and I've paid myself some money into here, like I said I would. And if we come down and break down underneath that, it's a stop out. It's just a trade, isn't it? Like, if they want to come for that, they'll come for it. If they break down under this, I'm willing to think about short. But at the moment, we can't break down under this zone. All right. And this is a very clear level, which has been the level all day. Again, for the 5th millionth time of explaining it. Right. The H1, regardless of what you lot think, right, has shifted into a potential bullish structure. If they are willing to hold this shelf here, then we have the ability to bid out. If we lose this, we go into rotation of current week, and then we can think about downside pressure. Nothing has changed. This is exactly the same thing I've been looking for all morning. I'm not making this up as I go along, all right? Nothing has changed. Here we go. These are the trades. Right, we are currently looking for this. If we fail this level, we will look for this. All right, these are the pathings. Nothing has changed, but people in here seem to think that you need to flip and flop based on a 1-minute candle. You don't. All right, it's about putting risk on and taking risk off in the right areas and managing trades. That's it. That's all we're doing. Honestly, I've got to turn chat off. You're in one of those. You started it off this morning. Only 30 seconds in, you started like, "How do we do this? What do we do this? What about this? What do you think about this?" It's like the market's just open. Can I trade? Can I trade? Am I allowed to just sit in a trade and watch price action just for a moment? Unbearable. Crazy, man. Chat's crazy today. I'll turn the chat back on in 10 minutes or something. And do you know what? I think we might do a members only giveaway today because it's been too chaotic in the chat today. So we might do a members only giveaway. Right, still holding IB for the runner. If we break IB, I'm willing to look short side for this move here, like I've talked about. But all the time we're protecting this. willing to sit in the trade. Still IB protected. There's the wash. Now, if they wash this, they got 30s and 800s on deck here. And I'm happy to flip into a short if we start selling and rejecting now. Still held. Semi's back to midpoint. Still the IB held. What I will say now, though, is if we drive up and reject 70s, I'll take this one off. Okay, scratch on that. So it ended up being break even overall because I took money out at the high and then took a stop on that on the ad. Again, no damage done. They're still holding this. They Alex trade this, I will laugh. So much strength up here, it's insane. Take these names. Apple bidding in front of 300, still not to that 300 zone yet. Amazon holding, Google holding. Meta to bottom side of its H1s. Softy holding. Nvidia holding PDC. Tesla weaker. Well, they're still trying to hold IB. I'm not interested in it now, though. Oh my days. Still there holding. It's actually pretty amazing to see the impact that these semiconductors are having on the market. NQ 0.77% up. IGV 1.26% down. MAGS 1.10% down. Equal weighted MAGS 1.5% down. Semi's just holding the market up. And you just wonder, like, if they can't break lower after doing all this selling, there's only one thing that's going to happen. And what happens when these things which are pulled back 1 to 1.5% today find a bid? Or Meta 2.5%. There we go, just held at IB again. Oh, I might prematurely cut that, but there we go. There's the stuff versus value. So this is now the rotation. Sellers are trying to protect value. Buyers are trying to protect this. If we come back inside here, this move happens. We've already traded that once, so I'm not too bothered about trading that again. Clear shelf up here defined. Clear shelf down here defined. If we go back in range, rotation. Strength will come above this. Weakness will come on rejections below this. There's nothing else to do. That's it. That's the story. These are starting to get tight, and if they start to bottom out and curl, and this finds a bid at the same time, the squeeze will be on. Here it goes. There you go. So you can argue with me all you fucking want, but they're walking it down. They're walking it down. Well, if they're not breaking lower, what's going to happen? Let's see. All right, if they hold value here and they bid this, then you can play the range rotation. I won't be playing it, but if it's, because we've already done it numerous times, so I'm not convinced. But if they hold value here, and it really depends what happens with this rotation. So there's your hold of value. There's your dip back in. You need to see this reclaim, and really you want to see a bid now form over 72s for strength. And if they do that, maybe you get up to 900. Again, I won't be playing this now. I've had enough goes at this for the day. All right, let's see if it's safe to turn chat back on now. Jeez Louise. Zucchini, thanks, mate. Very kind of you. Appreciate it. Low vol given the size of the candle. These are all tiny candles, mate. There's no big candle here. It's like 20 points. There's no big candle here. Yeah, Max keeps trading back down. It's just whether they can find a bid. Right. This is where you're at. Right, so semis have held a bid. They've put in their pin low. I can draw that, and they're trying to hold. All right, for the last 30 minutes. IGV is starting to curl. It's where the mags finds a bid, and it is into a key level here, like we talked about. Now, look, resting liquidity on the mags is at 67.60s. If you break 67.60s on the mags, you're in trouble. All right, and there's a move back to, there's basically a dollar move down to 60. 66.90s. We're thin in the profile there, and that will be taking out weekly lows, right? So that will be taking out Tuesday the 4th's low, which means we'll lose the bid for the last week and a bit, and it can accelerate away if it does that. That's absolutely a given. Absolutely a given that you can do that. Semi's back to midpoint. Yeah, just nothing to do with it. Let's have a look at what the IB expansion would be if they do it today, if they are able to do it. It would get you into here, 750s. So if they now reject this, maybe a chance. Right, into this key level on mags. This is literally it on mags. If they don't hold this, it's open for a waterfall moment. So if they don't sweep the liquidity and come back inside, mags is open for a big waterfall moment here. Semi starting to get weak now as well. So pro trend going down here. Here's the crack. So if semis let go of VWAP here and everything rolls together, you're going to see this wash right the way back down into here, which is what we've talked about all day. If we come under the blue box, we can think about the shorts. So what I'd be watching now is if they reject this, you're looking for that. If they reclaim that, you risk off and you probably leave it alone. And this is all on the mags and that 67.60 kind of zone. So there's been some covering into that to start. Back to previous week close here. And this is your over-under basically here to IB. If they reclaim, then the squeeze back up. And if they fail this, then you're going to get the continuation trade down. This is what they're going to make the decision on just before lunch as well. Max protected that swing low. I'll show you what I'm looking at. It's this right here. It's the edge of the range. If they lose that, we're very thin. Right, so if Mags loses this, unless they do this, all this, if they lose this and you get a stop run, it can get very, very weak very quickly. If they protect this or wick it and reclaim it, then the trade back inside happens again. And it's the same play. Back to IB. So I'd say from 850 to 865 needs to be protected by sellers. And if they fail to do that, they will get caught. And it'll be the same thing that we've talked about all day. It'll be the same trade all day. Here's the trade back inside. And if they reclaim this, you just wonder what they do with it. They're not, oh my God. I'm going to bang my head on a brick wall here. I can't handle it. You guys are so zoomed in. You are so zoomed in to this that you can't look at this. It's crazy. You're so zoomed in to this that you don't understand this. You're so zoomed in. I could put chat back on straight away. There's some fucking dick face. Here, let's make this easier. Permabans are coming out. There's not even timeouts now. I'm so done. I'm done with the stupidity. Not trying to argue or what, but is keep going slowly but surely down. Not like, I don't even know what that question is. Are you telling me it's going to go surely down? The only time that we move lower is if there is a confirmed breakout underneath here. I've fucking gone over it a million times, but you guys are adamant on that you want to trade this range here. If we reject this, can we move lower? Yes. If we come back inside this, are the sellers caught for a range rotation? Yes. Was I willing to trade the range rotation numerous times today, all the time we're protecting the blue box? Yes. Was that a pre-made plan? Yes. Was there also a plan that if we reject the blue box, we will look to trade lower? Yes. Are we doing that yet? No. Could you please shut the fuck up if you don't know what you're talking about in this chat? It's starting to really get on my nerves. It's getting ridiculous at this point. I've literally gone over this. It must be 30 times today we've gone over it. And I've equally just said in the last few minutes, if we reject 65 to 45, there can be a rejection lower. I've literally just said it once we broke down from it. It's the first time that this can be a short sell now. It's the first time. Oh my God. Do you guys have a brain that are saying this stuff? Honestly, do you listen? Do you watch? I worry for you. I genuinely worry for you. Crazy. Yeah, I think tomorrow we will do a members only chat because it's too much at this point. People aren't willing to listen, and I get bored of it. Blockchain, you're going. You're getting deleted. You're all starting to take the piss. You're going as well. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Okay, like we talked about, for the first time, we are starting to see a rejection of this. This is now their target if they can do it. It's a big if, but, and maybe. Your risk is against value, like we've just gone over. All right. And if they let it go, this is the move. If they get caught here and held, this is the trade back upside. I wouldn't be long personally in that because I've tried it numerous times today already. But for you guys, if they reclaim that, that's your long trigger. Underneath that, that's your short trigger. It's the first time today where sellers are potentially getting their way. And it might not be very long-lived here as you're coming into lunch in 20 minutes. Did I take short? No, I'm done. I'm done for the day. I'm completely done for the day. You guys have done a really good job in making sure I'm done for the day. Absolutely wild. All right, mag protecting that low at the moment. And this is all about whether the mag and semis bid together. If they do and they reclaim, this short will be short-lived, like I said. I don't know where the edge is here at the moment. All I know is if they want to break out and move lower now, they've built the sufficient liquidity to do it. But if mag suddenly protects that swing low, then they won't do it, and that'll be a problem. And I've got no position in this. I really don't care. Like, and again, this is my scorecard today. It's not like I'm having a really bad day, folks. All right, and we got that one account back green, but I'm not going to keep arguing with people on stream when I'm here to try and help. If you don't want to listen, please just go and watch someone else. Been trading that since 2019. Never understood the hourly chart until you saw this. Well, that's good, mate. I'm glad. My chin, look, you guys don't understand. My chin's up, right? I'm not having a bad day. Like, it's basically a scratch day. I don't have a problem with. This is for me a scratch day, right? This is a nothing. It's a nothing day. It's not. There's no big deal here. What I get frustrated with is the constant belittling and having to argue with chat. That's what I get frustrated with. I don't care about the market. Like, this market will set up or it won't set up, right? Everyone being like, oh, they're walking it down and they're doing this. Look, there ain't a fucking walk down here, mate. It's a ping pong, all right? Walk down would be this, all right? This is the first attempt they've had to potentially do that. It's the first time where they have the ability to do that. It's the first time. This is a liquidity build. That's all it is. I'm not going to go over this chart one more time today, and I'm just not going to do it. That's it. The first short trigger was here. It's the first short trigger all day long has been here. Can I tell you what the C3 level is? It was a cool wall, your third biggest cool wall on the day. Knox, you've got to be kidding me. All right, no more questions. Chat's done. This is it. I can't. This is the first time I'm ever going to have to do this, but I can't do it. I can't do it. I cannot do it today. It's just too much. Here we go. Real simple. Members only chat. There we go. I can't handle it anymore. We are now members only. I tried to be patient, but if you guys want to keep asking the same questions and not listening, this is what happens. I tried. It's the first time I've ever had to do it, but I couldn't. I'm sorry, folks. I couldn't do it anymore. And what we will do is a members only giveaway as well. Don't like doing that. But the final straw is, what would you be looking for on the short? All right. What I'll do is a giveaway right now for members. Right, here we go, members. FZT in chat, and we'll give away. Do you know what? Do the My Funded Futures accounts for you guys. And I will reiterate, if Mags keeps protecting this swing low and shorts fail to stuff this between value area low and initial balance low, this is where it will get dangerous, because that will be a failed break lower. So the short has to be in here looking for this, and it has to be a cut if there's a reclaim. It's as simple as that. That's how you manage risk. All right, give you guys a minute more, and then we'll do the giveaway. All right, let's pull this winner. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tempty 7011. Are you here, Tempty? Nice, man. Congrats. Right, you know the score. info@flowzonetrader.com. I'm making a screenshot of your name, and I'm going to sort you out with one of the new My Funded Future Rapid accounts, the end of days. Best accounts going right now. All right, so just send me a screenshot of you logged into YouTube. That's all you got to do. It's all you got to do. Keep it nice and simple. All right, I would be cautious here, those of you who are short, if you reclaim, like I keep talking about. If you reclaim this level, I would be very cautious on the short from IB to 66. If they reclaim that, we go back inside the range for the day. It'd be the same thing again. As long as they reject between IB and 66, you can try and hold for downside pressure. But we have seen absorption take place on the tape. Did have some big buyers. They got punished. We've turned around again. And if they lift it, they're going to come and attack here. And then if we start to travel above value, then the squeeze is on to complete these auctions higher. All the time we're rejecting value area low and IB, you can sit in the short looking for lower prices. And this is the max. This is what you're looking. That pivot, which they just protected right here, right? Doesn't mean they don't come back for it later, all right? But if they keep protecting it and failing to break down, you'll start to see relief. And the key one here is where the weakness has been, is this guy right here. And we are into these key levels now. All right, and that's your usual washout, and I expect that to rebid. All right, I expect that to rebid, and we talked about that at the beginning of the day, and I am interested in adding swing long down here if we start to see a bid develop at 75 or 70s in the next few sessions. What's the email? info@flowzonetrader.com. Alex can concentrate again. I know. It already feels better. I hate doing that because I like people to be able to ask questions, but today was too much. I felt like I had to answer the same question, go over and over and over and over and over again. It just got too much. I hate like not being able to provide service completely for free, but they can still watch. They just can't write in chat. Maybe tomorrow we'll go back to subs. I'll see how bad it is in the morning. All right, semis back to view up. And you've had a 3-hour pullback, and you can still get back inside this RBS range. I'd be very concerned about this lifting. Like I said, I'm not going to trade anymore today. I am done. I'm done. Scratch day for me, and that's okay. It's funny, Austin Silver warned me a year ago, mate, you stay on YouTube too long, you're going to get frustrated with what happens. You've got to put a paywall to protect your own health. I was like, no, it'd be fine. You were right, Austin. Okay, so you're now back inside of IB. And I'd say it's starting to be squeaky bum time for those guys who were short if they didn't take partials down here. That's not great excess at the lows, but there was some delta divergence down there. I'm kind of surprised we haven't printed a bigger wick low than that. But there was exhaustion and divergence down there for sure. Again, shorts very simply must protect this, right? That's the protection. The problem now is that's 3 attempts to break lower. If you start to build here, especially into lunch, the danger is this move back into value, right? Because although we've broken, and the first time we really started to break was here, right? That was the failed attempt back in. This is the first time where it's cued the short. The sellers need the acceleration away. They are trying to target down here, all right? So they need to accelerate down here to get their money that they want. Now, we're not seeing a whole lot of selling piling in here yet, but what we are seeing at the lows is some delta divergence. All right, right here. High, low, so not much selling here. And I'd be very cautious about this level here. So sit in shorts all the time, you protect that. Once that changes, you need to be willing to get out of your shorts and potentially get back into a rotational trade. Five minutes left. Let's get up to 1,000 likes and I'll do a members. I tell you what, we'll get up to 1,000 likes and I'll take it off members only and we'll just do a normal Apex giveaway because I won't have to answer any questions then. Oh, it's nice with a bit of a slower chat. I can breathe. I feel like I can breathe. Yeah, it's just much better. It's much more calming. Very slow moving market. All right. Let's change this. Right, we're doing Apex giveaway. Everyone can be involved. FZT, just type it once. And if it's the same again tomorrow, maybe we might even start with a members only chat tomorrow and just keep it calm, and I'll see how it goes. Short still in play here, still protecting that value area. So you can still sit in it if you are short. You're not seeing the breakaway to the downside, so be careful. You've got the new hourly bar coming up here. All right, let's pick this winner. Arrow King 11. Congratulations. Apex account on the way to you. Are you here, Arrow King? This is your hourly bar. Be cautious in this. You're welcome, Arrow King. Nice. All right, email me info@flowzonetrader.com. Second win in the last 1 year. Nice. Well, you know the score then. Just send me that email. Okay, back into that same level. So what I'd be very cognizant of, like I said here, you're into lunchtime. Compression is absolutely starting to take place here, and would be somewhat concerned, all right, that we have been in a giant range here. Right, just picture this for me for a second. We are inside a range here, and we are in weekly towards the weekly highs, holding above weekly lows, potentially trying to create a base up here at the moment for that move. All right, if they can do it. Hourly came deeper than we would have imagined, but is still here or hereabouts. All right, so if you want to like be specific with that, how much further under that did we drop? Under 40s, we kind of said 40s was the level. It was an extra 20 points. That's all it was. All right. NQ loves doing stuff like that. It's only an extra 20 points for everyone thinking it's gone crazy. All right. There's your pullback from the highs. There's your breakout. There's your pullback from the highs. If they can consistently build here, all right, they can take all day if they want. This still becomes viable. And that is my concern about looking for the shorts. All right. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. All right. If they let go of this, they can try and rotate, and your first target would be 790s and then down here. But for me, the H1 has made it very, very clear off CPI that it's holding value. We've migrated value higher. This is a gentle pullback on an H1 where they're trying to build out liquidity to potentially go higher. Nothing has changed for me. Like, once we reclaim these levels, if there's significant selling at the lows, they will get stuck and that pullback can finish and this move here can come. It might be that they need to wait for PPI tomorrow. I don't know. But look at this move now. All of a sudden, hello semis, hello mag off the lows. All right. And the first time we've seen some short-term alignment. All right. And your shorts now, you are right into that level of 60s. And if they start to reclaim that 60s level that we talked about, this value level, and they start to hold a higher low versus initial balance now. All right, if this gets built out, this is a fail break lower. This is not great excess, but it is a fail break lower because this is the break lower, isn't it? So you got all of 20 points there. That's all you got. And if they hold this and they reclaim, we go back inside of this giant chop range again. And if they get above this and they hold, then if they turn it on, this is their target and this remains their target. It's previous week value or a high. It's expected move for the day. It was Cool Wall 1, and I would say if we break back above this, it will become Cool Wall 1 again. At the moment, as long as shorts protect this, you can sit in it, but I'd be very cautious now if they produce a higher low here. And that's all I would say for the day. That's all there is. It's just going to be a lower time frame to higher time frame battle. There isn't much else you can really do with this trade at the moment. There isn't really alignment on what these markets want to do. All right, H1, I'm convinced, is attempting to move up. And the question is that it? Or do they fail? And do they need this later in the week? Take Alex, do members only chat think those who really here to learn will still turn up? Maybe last 30 minutes to open to chat. Well, that's why I don't want to do it, but I shouldn't be forced to explain myself over and over again, and I shouldn't need to be questioned and have people be abusive. I've just had to ban someone else who's gone on to other videos leaving abusive messages. I shouldn't need to have to take that when I'm here. I'm 41 years old. I don't need to take it. My job is to manage risk and trade, all right? My job is to manage risk and trade. That's it. I've done my job. I've managed risk. If you can't manage your risk, don't be blaming me, all right? Nothing's changed. If you've oversized here and got caught in these washes, just like I did, all right? I got caught in these, but I managed my risk, all right? I didn't add into losers. Don't be like leaving me death threats on my YouTube thinking you're going to get away with it, because you're not. All right, guys. Peace and love. Trade safe. Hopefully, something sets up for you, all right? These are your over-unders. Last time I'm going to repeat it. It's this, or it's a reclaim, and this, all right? You're going to have to watch sentiment, all right? That's your sentiment. All right, guys, I'm getting off the charts. Peace out. Trade safe. Use hard stops. Be careful because you've seen those Trump headlines as we've seen today. And I'll see you guys in the morning.